console us, my dear friends. Thank you once again for tuning in to Talking Gruff with Dr. G. We have with us in the studio today someone who wears many hats, but today is just wearing one. He is studied under the foot of legendary philosopher Alfred Don Bondage, famously known as Uncle Fred. He is also a well-renowned blogger on his page titled, Have You Met Susan? He holds the world's record for having an elastic band around his face for over 46 years. Ladies and gentlemen, he's just written a book entitled My Safe Trip to Europe, Mr. McStiggle's!
Well, thank you, Mr. G. It is a pleasure to be here. May I add I had a splendid time in the dresser before coming out.
Well, you've just released your first book. How's that going for you?
Well, it's been...
You won't need to answer that, Mr. McStiggle. So the title of your book is My Safe Trip to Europe, right?
Yes,
Now,
well...
I haven't read the book myself, but looking at this title, would I be incorrect in assuming this entire book merely describes how you got to Europe?
Yes, well, you see, I spent a good deal of my freshman years reading the Atlas. You see, being a man of philosophical interest, I spent a good deal of my freshman years reading the Atlas.
Atlas? So back to the main question. Is this the story of your ride over?
Well, you see, without becoming too obtuse, you see, I dabbled in psychology for a brief period of time, and I wanted to have a swing at writing my own book. You see, the aeroplane is quite an extraordinary location for an exciting psychological thriller to take place. And
Psychological thriller, you say? There's nothing thrilling about a safe trip to Europe, Mr. McStiggles.
And that's where the philosophical studies come into my play. Well, I started out under the famous relativism philosopher Uncle Fred. Yes, he taught me one thing I would never forget. An aeroplane isn't safe relative to something heaps safer. And of course, that is where the thrilling begins. A safe trip to Europe isn't safe to the man at the back of the plane with the striped appendix on his brow.
So it's from the point of view of a man sitting at the back of a safe plane, relatively speaking, with a striped appendix on his brow.
Oh, no, it's from my perspective, but things do get interesting in chapter 78, when I begin to discuss the possibilities of the plane not being safer for the man sitting at the back with a striped appendix on his brow. Like I said, I used to read a lot of atlases when I was in my freshman years.
Ladies and gentlemen, you can buy Mr. McStiggle's new book through his website titled Have You Met Susan? For $30, not including shipping. Give Mr. McStiggle a big cheer, ladies and gentlemen. See you all next time on Talking Gruff with Dr. G.